Hey guys, it's your boy Duo here, and today I've got a mystery. A secretive, confusing, potentially risque mystery about what, you might be asking? It's Super Princess Peach.
Released on the Nintendo DS in 2006, this was a game where, whoa, Mario gets kidnapped and Peach is the hero? Whoa, how crazy! Talk about subverting expectations. I'm 90% sure this is the entire pitch behind the game. When it released, I remember my friend asking me if I wanted to buy it, and that's a girl's game, I'm not gonna play that, I'm too manly. I bought it and never told anyone until now. And I liked it. It was a cute little 2D platformer, and after falling in love with New Super Mario Bros. DS, I couldn't not play another game like it. But there's an ongoing mystery surrounding this game. That being, why does no one seem to remember it? And I mean that on multiple levels. On one hand, considering this is the first and so far only game where Peach is the main character, and despite releasing on the incredibly popular Nintendo DS, barely anyone ever acknowledges that this game even existed. At most, they'll remember that, it stars Peach, it's got an umbrella dude, there's the vibe scepter. Anything else about the game, the levels, the world themes, the gameplay, none of that's ever brought up, especially the more questionable aspects. But even beyond that, it almost seems like Nintendo itself has forgotten this one. It never gets referenced anymore, they never acknowledge its existence, and even when Nintendo was re-releasing their DS games through the Virtual Console, you know what game coincidentally didn't get re-released? That's right, Super Princess Peach. And bro, they released Yoshi Touch and Go. That isn't even like a video game. I see where their priorities are. They've almost gone out of their way to sweep this game under the rug. But why? Is there some kind of darker secret at play? Yes, actually, but shh, I'll ruin the dramatic effect if I spoil that now. Just forget I said that.
And that's why I'm here, to uncover the truth, to reveal the secrets, to finally find out what's really going on behind Super Princess. Hey, come on, I'm just trying to be exciting here, do all that dramatic YouTuber stuff, make it fun. I do not. What could be cooler than talking about Nintendo games in your mid-20s on the internet? Don't answer that.
Well, whatever, okay, we're still talking about this even if the mood's a little ruined. Super Princess Peach is a weird game with some very questionable attributes behind it. And considering we're on a roll of talking about weird Mario games with DDR Mario mixed in Luigi's Mansion, I figure this is a pretty good place to go next. I also talked about the Smash intros, I guess, but that doesn't really count. So without further ado, let's see what the very first and very last Princess Peach game has in store for us. Near the Mushroom Kingdom exists a place called Vibe Island, a place where the magical Vibe Scepter is said to hide, an object that can drastically change the emotions of anyone it's used on. Bowser, being, Bowser, decides to build a summer home there in an effort to get his grubby little mitts on it. And obviously he gets it and uses it to cause havoc in the Mushroom Kingdom, using said havoc to capture Mario, Luigi, and Toad. You notice how Toad's the only one tied up? It's because they know he's a threat. And with every hero captured, it's up to Princess Peach to heroically save the day. I'm sure the Mushroom Kingdom will be absolutely fine in her absence. Who needs rulers anyways?
So you excited about all the opportunities we have here? I mean, this is Princess Peach's game, so this is a perfect opportunity to actually do something with her. I can't wait!
She gets 2 lines of dialogue, and then the rest of the story is about her umbrella. Perry the Parasol is Peach's companion through the game, a rough and tough umbrella who's about beating up bad guys. Because, hey boys, don't be scared of playing this girl game, this umbrella's ready to pwn some noobs, as they said in 2006. I'm so sorry. Oh, Perry. I fucking hate you. Bro, this is Super Princess Peach, not Super Perry Parasol. Why is she sidelined just so we can hear this umbrella's tragic anime backstory?
I just don't get it either. This is Princess Peach's game, but now we gotta flesh out the umbrella instead. Clearly, that's way more important. I don't understand these people. Let's just get to the gameplay section. This whole thing's just a wash.
Super Princess Peach is a 2D platformer in the style of previous 2D Mario games. You get all that head stomping and block bopping action you could ask for. Now with this really, really pretty sprite style that I actually kind of prefer to what they were doing with 2D Mario at the time. This shit just looks freaking pretty, okay? It's kind of like they took Mario World and Yoshi's Island and forced them to have a child and boom, it's cute. Special mention goes to the animations here. They help fill my cold, dead heart. Now, the game itself plays pretty well. Controls about as well as the other 2D Mario games, at least. You even get this cool slide that, of course, she uses her ass. Of course. What is with this character and attacking with their bottom? Anyways, yeah, you have a lot of satisfying movement options, some of which you can even buy in the shop using the coins you gather, which is actually really freaking rad. Like in the normal games, these things are pointless. They built an entire game around collecting coins, and yet they didn't even use them as well as this game. That's really sad. Like, it's just cool to collect stuff and feel like it's actually worth something. What a freaking surprise. Now, all of that is fine, but there's obviously one more major mechanic at play here, the one the entire game is built around, the vibe powers. They make the first Mario game starring a female character, and they make the central mechanic about emotions. Is it really a good idea to address this? What if we get canceled? What then? Maybe we should skip this one.
Back to jail. Women, am I right?
Okay, so all I'm gonna say is I can't believe this got past the people at Nintendo, and I do not vibe with this. Thank you. Thank you very much. Outside of the questionable aspects behind it, the mechanic is actually kinda neat. Each emotion has its own specific ability behind it that can be used for both platforming and puzzle solving. Joy allows Peach to basically float infinitely for a while and is so freaking cute, oh my gosh. Gloom brings out the waterworks, allowing Peach to water the nearby fauna and run a little bit faster. Rage brings out Peach's inner beast, allowing her to burn everything in her path. And Calm refills your health. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is really lame. Your only limit to these abilities is the vibe meter in the top left that tells you how much you still got left in the tank. Fun fact, when I was a kid, I had no clue you could refill the vibe meter with enemies. You ever play the game like that? Straight up, it becomes fucking Dark Souls. So how do you generally fill up the meter then? Well, you can either collect these little blue gems here, or use parry to consume the soul of the enemy. Holy shit.
Why, do you relate to him because he sucks the life out of everybody?
Okay.
What I like about these mechanics is their usefulness outside of just solving puzzles. Like, a lot of the time solving a puzzle with this is pretty obvious what they want you to do. Ah, there's a plant. Whatever shall I do? Oh yeah, cool. But these abilities can also be useful outside of that. Waiting for a slow platform? Boom, not anymore. Moving too slow? Boom, not anymore. Dangerous enemy in your way? Boom, not anymore. Like, it's surprising how much extra use you can get out of these abilities. Joy especially, which is just straight up overpowered sometimes. And theoretically, these could be super great for speeding through levels as well. I mean, New Super Mario Bros. Was already great at designing levels around that, either being good for exploring or speeding through, so this seems like a match made in heaven.
No.
Yep, they did.
So, despite what you may think, Nintendo were not the developers of this game. Instead, the game was tossed over to a little company called Tosei, which has a varied library. Nintendo really took the first game revolving around their most popular female character and tossed, or should I say Tosei'd it over to the makers of Shrek Hassle at the Castle. And when you play it, you can kinda tell. It's all ogre now. When you take away the cute visuals and funny vibe mechanics, what you're left with is a very basic platformer with pretty lazy level design at times. Levels have no problem just repeating random obstacles over and over, or having a long flat plane with almost nothing going on, or introducing a gimmick only to use it for like 2 seconds before just going back to bare basic platforming. Level theming doesn't even stay consistent. Sometimes in the same level chunk, they'll move to a completely different theme, like the level was designed in pieces and then just tossed together afterwards. Like, bro, what is this? Like, it never gets bad, but the level design here is just really lame overall. Except when it isn't. Because when you're looking for secrets and exploring, the level design is pretty alright. Not amazing, but it gets the job done. Try to speed through the level and it's a boring slog, but explore and you'll find some fun stuff. So how do they get around this problem? That's simple. They force you to explore whether you want to or not.
You see these toads here? These are basically like the game's collectibles. You gotta get 3 of them in every level, and you might be thinking, wow, that sounds so cool. That's like the star coins. I love those. Except they aren't.
If you want to beat the final boss, you are required to collect each and every one of these goobers, hear that crusty ass DS Toad audio like a billion times just to beat the game. Oh what, the level design sucks unless the player explores? Well, let's just force them to explore. Boom, problem solved. And like even then, some of these toads aren't even hidden. It's like the level designers couldn't think of a place to hide the third toad, so they just kind of left them in your way. And like, yeah, I'm probably exaggerating here a little. Like, even at its worst, this game is still fun, but I don't know, man, this is just weird. The designers probably tried their best, alright? They did what they could, but in the end, Nintendo decided to toss this project over to a license-based game dev, and so there were gonna be some problems like this. And because of this, a lot of the game just kind of bleeds together. Like, I've played this game a bunch of times, I even just played it for this video, and yet I am struggling to remember any of these levels I am showing. I honestly think that's part of the reason this game is so forgotten. One of the most memorable things about your game are the questionable story elements, and that it existed kinda... yeah, that's not the best sign. At least the bosses are cool. They use the vibe mechanics in neat ways, and one of them is a Super Mario Sunshine reference, which already makes the game good in my books. It also has mini-games. That's how you know it's a DS Mario game. They're not as good as the ones from New Super Mario Bros. DS, and there's not nearly enough gambling with the Ouija, but they're still fun enough. Besides the log rolling one, it sure is a log. That means Another thing I appreciate about this game is that it actually has a story. Sure, it's focused on Perry most of the time, but this is probably the most complex 2D Mario story, which isn't saying a lot, but still. Also, the soundtrack, 10 out of 10. Well, okay, maybe more like an 8 out of 10, but the Fury Volcano theme, that's a 10 out of 10. And like, I know I've come off a little negative here at times, but that's mostly just because there are some notable issues present. In reality though, it's a solid platformer through and through, all the way up until the end. So you've made your way through the worlds, collecting toads, beating bad guys, and just straight vibing. And now it's time to save Mario. What follows is a pretty fun final boss fight against Bowser before the princess wallops Bowser into next week. Boom, day is saved, Mario is rescued, Luigi continues to suffer eternally, all's well that ends well. Nothing else to mention. Except I forgot this game has a very interesting scene at the end. The Vibe Scepter has strange and mysterious powers for sure. Somewhere, someone might possibly be using it right now. What? Your mom's been laughing happily a lot? Maybe, just maybe, the Vibe Scepter is hidden away in your house somewhere.
Bro, this can't be real. This is not a real thing. This is a Mario game. There's no way they're being this blunt about this being a vibe raider. Bro, this ain't even subtle. Like, I don't even have a dirty mind, but bro, really? Really?
I know I've been doing the funny haha joke and comparing the Vibe Scepter to a Vibe Raider, but if somebody showed me this from any other game, I'd tell them they need to at least try and be a little more subtle. I just can't believe this isn't a Mario game. Like, this seems fake, but not. That's real. This is a real thing they decided to put in their game about a woman with emotional problems. Classy. Real classy, Nintendo. And like, it's this kind of stuff that makes me think Nintendo's been purposely trying to hide this game's existence. Like, being real, do you think stuff like this, or the emotion mechanics, or any of the inherently questionable aspects here would go over well on modern day Twitter? No, probably not. At least by acting like this game doesn't exist, they don't have to worry about any controversy coming out of it. And combine that with a game that's honestly fairly forgettable design-wise, it's no wonder pretty much no one remembers it. And like, that's kind of sad. This concept has potential, this character could have more fun games, but that's likely never going to happen at this point. Meaning that Super Princess Peach is fated to be that one weird Princess Peach game and nothing more. Oh, and also the game with the frickin' vibrator reference.